Hey y'all, it's your girl Symone. Welcome back to my channel. If y'all can see by the title, today's another story time. Before we get into this video, y'all already know what to do. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give your girl a thumbs up, comment down below. Don't forget to follow me on all my socials, Instagram at Vivalayoshii, TikTok and Twitter at Lifewithsymone, and follow my business page at Brishari. Y'all, I'm bulk recording. I just recorded a story time. Y'all see me in the same outfit on Tuesday. But yeah, and then I got another video to record. I'm trying to get my Vlogtober out the way now because I want to come through with a bang. So yeah. But anyway, let's get this Subbie Sunday together because y'all know I be slacking with these. I'm about to start pre-recording these real early. Anyway, so this one is titled Read Me, Crazy Mama Boy. So it says, a cheater, a liar, and a mama's boy. We want to know. So it says, hey Symone, it's your twin again, Symone. I sent you a story about me and Shelly and how she stole her mama's car after we snuck out. I was going to send that part 2 to that story, but this one is way more insane, and I got to get this off my chest. This is a long story, but I'm going to break it down in parts. But I'm going to send them all at the same time, because I hate when bitches send half a story and end up with this story. Sorry this is long, and I'll send the rest later after a half a sentence. Oh, not the shade, twin. No, because I swear. But anyway, part 1. When the red flags go up, panties still come down. Oh, it says, in 2016, I moved back home from out of state and moved back in with my mom and her girlfriend and her girlfriend's daughter. I was 20 at the time, and honestly, I was looking for some weenie meat to hop on. So I go on POF, and it's my first time in my whole life. Big ass mistake. As I'm scrolling through profiles, I see this fine ass black man with long locks, tattoos, and some juicy ass lips. I was like, oh yeah, I want him. So I liked his profile, or however the fuck POF worked. That was my first and last time linking with anyone off that wicked shit, LOL. So he messaged me and introduced himself. He told me his name is CJ and that he lives in the same city as me. We're talking and he asked me on a date. I'm like, oh, okay. You want to take a bitch out? You don't just want the cheeks? I'm down or whatever, so I say yes. He told me that he want to go to Dave & Buster's, but, and this is a big booty but, he would need me to pick him up because his car is messed up. Red flag 1 of a million. But I didn't have my own car either, so I couldn't judge. I was borrowing my mama car for the date. I told her that I had a date, and I did not tell her I was going to scoop this man in her car. So I go to his house, and it's a nice 2-story home in a decent neighborhood. I call him to come outside, and this man is fine, not gonna lie. I know I was gonna give him some as soon as he's got in the car. The car ride wasn't eventful at all. We got to Dave & Buster's, we went inside, and I'm like, okay, so you want to get a game card and a drink? And he hits me with the, oh, it's whatever you want to do. Red flag number 2. I'm like, okay, well, let's get a drink, and then we could play after refilling it. We get to the bar, and mind you, I'm 20, so I asked him if he could get the drink, and he tells me he forgot his ID. So I said, okay, fuck it, I'll just get a Sprite. I order my soda, and this man just stands there, not offered to pay, no movement, even like he was about to reach for a wallet at all. Red flag number 3. So I pay for my soda and I keep it pushing. After realizing he didn't have any money or didn't have any intentions to pay for anything, I suggested we leave. So we went back in the car and I take him back to his neighborhood. As we get to the entrance, he tells me to pull in the front by the pool. So I'm like, oh, okay, I know what's up. So we're sitting parked there talking and stuff, and the conversation was actually good. He was funny, and every time he would finish talking, he would lick his lips, and that made my coochie jump. Eventually, he leans in for a kiss, and we're full-blown making out in the front seat of my mama's car. He takes my hand and puts it down on his weenie meat, and girl, it was big as fuck. At this point in my mind, I'm like, if this is all you wanted to do, you didn't have to say you wanted to go out. We could have did this from jump, but whatever. So I'm stroking it while we kissing, and he stops and tells me to get in the back seat, and I climb in the back, and this man gets out of the car and come around to the back driver's side and opens the door. He pulls his meat out, and I start giving him the Corinne Stephan special. If you know, you know. He tells me to pull my panties down and bends me over to the back seat and start dogging my shit. I'm talking, we all out the side of the car, and he going in. When he finished, I drove him to his house and I went home. This is where the shit begins. Part 2, no job, a baby, and a mama's boy. This is important to note before we get to this part. At this time, I was working at a daycare, and like I said, I don't have my own car, so at the time, I would either have to borrow my mom's car or her girlfriend's minivan. Okay, so after that first night, we kept talking and texting and getting close. He invites me to pull up to his house and chill with him. Even though I was technically grown, my mama was not going for going to a ninja house and being caked up. So my dumb ass borrowed the car to go to work, and I put up on him at home. Now I'm in the driveway. It's this blue sedan. He tell me it was his car that was messed up. So I was like, he's not a liar, my dumb ass. So we walk in the house, and I'm thinking we're alone. Next thing I know, I hear someone coming down the stairs, and it's his mama. Honestly, I had never had a hard time with mama, so I wasn't worried. I wasn't expecting it, but it was whatever. So she sees me and she's like, oh, who are you? I introduce myself and she stands there in her robe and she's like, CJ, don't bring another girl in my house. So they low-key get into it because she blew up his spot. Now, mind you, I don't really care because he wasn't my man yet. He was just the meat I was mangling at this time. So she goes upstairs and he starts explaining himself. I told him I wasn't tripping. So we go upstairs to his room and we're in the bed chilling and talking. And this is when he tells me that he has a daughter. He tells me the baby is 1 and she lives in Savannah with her mom. And the baby mama keeps the baby away from him and that he was hurt behind it. So I console him and we keep it pushing. In this conversation, I learned that this man is one of those woke folks, wannabe hotep ninjas, and he believed in polygamy, red flag number 4. So none of this apparently mattered to my dumb ass because I was really just here for the Slim Jim. So his mama comes to this door and I could tell that she's asking about me. So I decided I was just gonna go ahead and leave, but she didn't want me to, so I stayed in and his mama ended up leaving. So as soon as she left, he rocked my socks off. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the feeling of his locks on my back or the way that he would hold me by my back and bite my ear, but girl, at this point with the meat like that, he was my man and I was his girl. And he had the sweetest love in the whole wide world, laughing my ass off. I'm so ashamed now, but then I had no shame. He very quickly became my man. After this, I would link with him often during the week. I started to wonder why the fuck this ninja never at work. So I asked him where he worked and then he told me that he just got fired. Red flag number 5. This is only the beginning. Part 3, his girl best friend and broke boy behavior. Oh, I love how you doing these parts. Okay, so let me set the time frame. I moved back in my state in September and I met CJ in the beginning of October. So CJ and I made it official within 3 weeks. So by the end of October, this was my man. I finally told my mama about him, let my friend in on what was going on. And I swear, as soon as you start sharing news of you having a new man, bullshit always pops the fuck up. So his birthday is mid-November and he wanted to show me a gift he wanted. Which, bitch, you have some nerve if you want a gift and you haven't paid for shit yet. So he hands me his phone and he gets an IG notification from a girl. We'll call her Crystal. I'm a nosy bitch, so I clicked it and going through their DMs. At this time, he was in the bathroom, so I had time to snoop. So I'm scrolling, nothing seems real suspicious. I even see messages of him telling her about me. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, it can't be anything too major. So he comes back in and I ask him who she is and he's like, oh, that's my best friend. Yeah, we've been friends since high school. I'm like, okay, cool. Have y'all ever done anything? And he's like, no, she used to like me, but I didn't like her, so we just stayed friends. And baby, at this point, there was 6 Flags. And I'm about to be on a motherfucking roller coaster and didn't even know this was just the climb before the fall. Around this time, I had started telling my mama I was spending the night at my friend's house and I would stay the night with him. So later on, he tells me that he was hungry and wanted something to eat and he wanted to go to Popeyes. So we hop in my mama's car and we drive to get some chicken. This man's order a whole family meal with 2 sides and a whole gallon of lemonade. We get to the window to pay and the lady tells him the total is $40. And I ask him for his card and he tells me that he didn't have any money. Girl, I about rolled my eyes out of my head. I got my card and paid and drove off mad as fuck. Like I said, I was skipping work and being laid up with a ninja and my money was funny. So I'm tricking on chicken out of my little bit of money that I had and I was hot. So we go back to his house and eat the chicken in his bed and that's basically the end of the night. Part 4, wanna control me but can't control your life. Now it's early November and we're already on the I love you and he said it first. He was waist deep in my love below. So I was basically trapped. As soon as he began to love me, he became more possessive. He really was good at flipping it and making it seem like he was just protective of me. He would go through my phone and question me about texts from my friends and comments on social media from guys I went to school with. We started having small arguments here and there and he barely let me in my phone while I was with him. Now remember, his mama came at me out the gate. Around this time, she had became cool on me because I was always over there and I'm a likable ass bitch, the fuck. But when we started arguing, she would chime in and tell me how I need to stop making her son mad because he had too much going on. He's worried about his baby and getting his life together. And the last thing he needs is to be fighting with me. I realized quickly that man's mama was an enabler and she coded his grown ass. The argument started getting worse. I started to feel not really scared of him, but like I needed to be mindful of what I said or did because he seemed triggered by a lot. Sidebar, I had a group chat with my 3 best friends and we talked about everything. They would vent about their dudes and stuff like that and what they had going on in their dating lives and I would do the same. And I never said anything bad or disrespectful about CJ ever. We will also send the occasional news to the group chat to get approval before it went to our intended target, LOL. He was chilling in his room like we always did because he was broke and he took my phone again and decided to go through the group chat. He reading messages and he gets mad as fuck. He started calling me and my friends hoes and cussing me smooth out. This man decided that he wants to text the group chat and tell my friends about themselves and that they are mad as fuck thinking I'm letting him disrespect them. So they are going back and forth with him and I'm trying to get my phone back. So now we're tussling over my phone and he pushes me off the bed and runs out of the room and runs into his mama's room. She's gone, so I chased him down and ran into the bathroom and he tried to slam the door, but I was pushing back against it. So I stuck my arm in a crack to give myself some leverage and this man started slamming the door on my arm. I literally felt like it was gonna break, like he was gonna break my arm. arm. So I had to snatch my arm out of the door, and he slammed it shut and locked it. So I'm standing in his mama's bathroom banging on the door telling him to give me my phone so I could leave. I Uber over to his house this day, so I literally needed my phone to get home. He would not open the door, so I walked out of his house and walked down the street to get myself together. And when I came back, he was coming out of the front door taunting me, asking me where the fuck I thought I was going, and I couldn't leave unless he let me. I felt so stuck because he literally had my only way home in his hands. Heather had me come back in the house and we talked, and he convinced me to spend the night, and he literally did not give me my phone until the next morning. Part 5, the fall. Here comes the end. After this man tried to break my arm, we were really in a weird place, and there had been a lot more shit that happened in between time. My family and I went to Disney for Christmas, and the day before, he asked me to come over so he could see me before I leave. I was with my best friend and she took me over there, and this was their first time meeting each other, and needless to say, it was a mess. Heather was acting so weird. I was sitting on the couch and he was on his knees in front of me crying, saying that he was sorry and that I needed to forgive him. Me and my friend was so confused. I had no clue of what was wrong with him, but I was soon to find out. The next day while I was on vacation, his mama calls my phone telling me that CJ was in the hospital because he was at work and he smoked a blunt with one of his coworkers and they laced it with something, and this ninja lost his mind. That's why he was acting all fucking weird. This man was in a mental hospital having his mama call me on three-way so he could talk to me. Mind you, he didn't have a job this whole time. It just started at this job a week before I went out of town. Anyway, he was telling me how he loved me and he missed me and he's sorry for hurting me. I was on vacation and I wasn't really trying to hear it, so I told him that we could talk when I get back home if he was out by then. We came back in town a couple of days later and he asked me if he could come over my house. This was different because I was always at his house, and if he came to my house, he would be meeting my whole family. Another side note, while I was in Orlando, I lost my phone, so I didn't talk to him again until I got home on my laptop so I could message him on Facebook. So I told my mama he wanted to come over and she was cool with it. But the day he wanted to come, they had plans, so we ended up being alone. While he was at my house, he fell asleep and I needed to call my mama to ask her for something. So I asked him to unlock his phone so I could call my mama. When I got off the phone with her, I went to his settings and turned the lock off his phone, and I went through everything. Something in my spirit just steered me in the direction of his Facebook messages. My heart sank to my pinky toe. This man was talking to over 5 females. There was one where he was trying to get to pay for a hotel for them to meet. She told him he couldn't meet when he wanted because of her daughter. This sick ninja said she could bring her. I was sick. After I went through his Facebook, I went through his text, and who do I see the most recent text? Crystal. Remember her? Yeah, his best friend. I had only seen their DMs on Instagram, so I went through their text and I expected to be similar to what I had saw, but I was so wrong. She was all on the phone calling him daddy, telling him how much she loved him and how that she'll do anything to make him happy. They were even plotting on wrapping me up in a poly relationship. That's why she knew who I was, because he was trying to get us to double tapping his love button. I was livid. Even though I already knew, having proof had made me heated. I slapped that nigga out of his sleep so fast, I cussed him out and called him everything but a child of God. He was acting like he didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. I'm going all upside his shit. Mind you, it's the end of December. It was cold as fuck outside and his mama dropped him off. I put his ass out in 40-degree weather. He left. I DM'd Crystal and told her I knew all about them, and I told her she could have him because I put his ass out in the cold. And she swore she didn't know what I was talking about, ditzy bitch. So ditzy bitch was so stuck on making him happy, she held that to her dear life. A little over a year, he found me on Facebook, tried to reach out, but I blocked his number with the quickness. He doesn't have his locks anymore and look dirty. Either way, I'm in a loving relationship with my fiance, and we have been together for 7 years and have 4 beautiful kids together. I know this is a real long story, so I hope it kept you entertained. But also, message to my women and girls out there: never let a man assault you, mistreat you in any way, and stay. I know it's scared to leave, but love doesn't look like what I went through. I wish I knew then what I know now. I would have left his ass at Dave & Buster's. Yes, girl, yes. Oh my God, this was so good. I'm happy that she gave us all the parts and didn't just say, I met him, we did this, you want part 2? I love it. Y'all gotta start telling the whole story, but I love that. But I love your message at the end too. Do not... Once somebody show you who they are, especially like you talking about let's go on a date and you came with no cash, that's a red flag. Turn around, care how good that man look, how good the D is. Because I swear I be seeing on Twitter where it be girls where they be like, my man cheats on me, dog me out, fuck my homegirl, he even fucked my mama on Tuesday, but the D is good, so I'm staying there. I be so confused. And they be like, and he paid my nails. You know how many niggas pay for nails? You don't gotta stay with one that's gonna do you wrong because he paying for something. Baby girl, get your own money or get a different dude. It's not that deep. I don't know. But thank you so much for sharing. I love this though. You wrote this so good. I love how you broke down everything, girl. Send more stories. I know you got more. Congratulations on you and your man, and y'all beautiful children. But yeah, let's get into the next story. All right, y'all. So this is the next story. It's titled, I slept with my stepdad's best friend. Girl. Okay, let's get into it. So it says, Please. So my stepdad, oh, she said please. Okay, please. So my stepdad raised me when I was 4 until now. Mind you, I'm 22. When I was younger, we would go to his friend's house, and his friends had a daughter close in age to me. So when I would go over there, I would hang out and play with her. Over there was a constant thing. I follow her on social media, and I was just curious and wonder how her dad was doing. Her dad is a tattoo artist, so I searched him up by his name and found his IG. And I found his tattoo page and liked one of his posts because I thought his tattoo piece he did was good. The same day I saw he requested to follow me, so I accepted it and I followed him back. A few weeks had went by and he started to heart my Instagram story. Then I seen that I had a DM from him and my heart sank to my ass because I thought I got it. So I look and I saw it said hi. I replied back, not thinking anything of it, and we started having a regular conversation. And then we exchanged numbers. Whole time I'm like, does he remember me? Because I remember him. We're texting via iMessage now constantly. And he stayed asking me to link. The bitch was scared because his daughter definitely remembers me. And I was like, oh my God, what if I go over there and she sees me and my ass is toast? So a few weeks had gone by with me slacking and something came over my fear. I had a few glasses of wine. I wasn't drunk, but I was feeling real bold and agreed to go over. And it was the perfect because he told me his kids wasn't there. So boom, I'm getting ready and he sends me a lift. I'm on FaceTime with my friend, scared as shit and nervous. And I get to his house and I'm like, hold up. Tell me why it's the same motherfucking house that I would go over when I was younger. I'm like, oh fuck no. So I get there and he's outside waiting for me and I'm sick as fuck. He is so fine though. He's fucking 40, but he don't look like it. So I'm scared as shit. I hug him and I walk in his room. He had that Don Julio sitting on the bed waiting for little old me. And I said, hell yeah, laughing my ass off. We just talking and he's staring at me and I'm like, damn, do he really not know I'm his best friend's stepdaughter? So we're just talking and one thing leads to another and we ended up getting nasty. When I tell you that that was the biggest I have ever seen, felt, it sure was. I squirted everywhere. I was so fucking flabbergasted. Then after that, I had him send me a lift to my man's house. Now with that motherfucker, he had it coming. The backstory with me and him started talking this summer, but he was straight bullshit, back and forth toxic shit. And when we was talking, I blocked him for a good week and within that week, he fucked someone else. And one thing about me is when they go low, I go to hell. So yeah, I had to get my get back. So I go to his house and we did the do and he ate my groceries and all. Then I woke up and took my happy ass home and now I really just can't stop fucking thinking about it. I feel I really did it this fucking time. Now I think my stepdad's best friend is in love with me and I'm scared as fuck because I'm like, what if they speak again and we go over and I see him and he knows who I am for real now? Like, is he gonna tell my stepdad? Oh, and I'm so scared. I know so it's long, but I just had to. I always watch your videos, especially Subbie Sundays, and I just needed to share my story with you. And this was very recent too for reference, laughing my ass off. I love you so much. I figured it was recent too, I could tell. But girl, let me just say this. That daddy knows. He knows. That man knows. And for sure he knows. If he watched you like from when you was little, he knows. He remember your face. He's seen you often. He knows it's you grown. And then you say you had his daughter on social media. He knows. That nigga's just sick. Anyway, that's crazy. Not you went to your man right after. Girl, do you still talk to him? Let me find out you getting free tattoos now and you still fucking with the daddy. Girl, that is crazy. Let us know, girl. But thank you so much for sharing. Dang, I keep coming across these shorties now, but we're gonna read it. So it says, man, I don't know, Waffle House set me up like this. All right, let's get it. So it says, hey Symone, I just wanted to say I love your page and it get me through school and work. I'm low-key zooted, but let's get into this story. So back in November of 2022, I was talking to this boy named Slick. But we stopped talking because he had too much going on. And plus, we was on and off. And mind you, I was 19 and they were 24. And they lived like 45 minutes away from me. So fast forward to April 2023. I'm talking to a boy, we'll name him Thief. So one day I text Thief and he was like, I'm finna come get you and pack some clothes. So like 30 minutes later, he came to get me. And mind you, his friend was in the car too. So the whole time we was in the car, he was meaning mud me and was being rude as fuck. We finally made it to the city and stopped by Waffle House because it was the only thing open. So boom, we get into Waffle House and we place our order. And all I hear is, I know that's not my little bae with that lame ass ninja. So I look up and it's motherfucking Slick. So Thief started doing the most, started being rude to the workers. And he tried to kiss me in front of Slick. So the whole time we were there, Slick was coming up to me saying, you need to stop fucking with him, you too pretty for all that. We finally get our food and we walking back to the car. He automatically started asking me questions like, you mess with him and all this stuff. So he gonna ask me, can I set Slick up? When I said no, this ninja started being weird. Long story short, me and Thief got into a fight. Thief robbed Slick and Slick glizzied up their apartment and mama house. Thief is in jail. Slick got a baby on the way and still trying to be in a relationship with me, but the story kind of long. Girl, why was the story long at? It's because she said she was zooted. I know it. I know it. That's why. I know that's why you thought this was long. But that's crazy. The Waffle House do be having some drama. So, girl, if anybody work at the Waffle House, can y'all send y'all stories in? Because Waffle House, y'all be having some crazy stuff. So anybody at work there, please send some stories in, because I know y'all got some good ones. But thank you for sharing, sis. I'm gonna read one more story. I kept coming across these short ones, but yeah, they interesting though, so I like them. But let's get into the next story. So this is the last story, y'all, and it's titled, "He Scammed Me for My V Card and Dip." Let's see what happened. So it says, "Hey girl, hey. Thought this title might be eye-catching, lol. I love your story times very much. You're my go-to when I'm down. Might be long depending on how fast you read it, because woo girl, you be on the road. Please keep my name anonymous for the sake of the story, but I'm blank. Everyone's name has been changed already. I'm going to get into this story though. Back in the summer of 23, I was dating a boy named Sean. Me and him dated for a cool little year or so until he got caught cheating. I was so pissed. And don't get me wrong, I was doing my thing, but it was the fact that he got caught. I was a virgin at this time and didn't like kissing people, so I never did anything. It was just conversation. Me and the girl he cheated with talked about the timeline when they started talking and compared it with me and his timeline. She was the side hoe, lol. Me and him broke up about it, and I was a little bitter about it for a few days, but me and his friends was still cool. A couple of weeks later, and he and his friends went to a party, and sadly he lost a friend. Me and the friends weren't friends, but we were cordial, and we were outside 2 days before she passed. I went to the balloon release and supported her loved ones because her friends were my friends. I ended up following her boyfriend at the time to give my condolence. We'll name him Corey. Fast forward 4 months later, I replied to a note of his and laughed at what he said. And we left it at that. A couple of days later, I was having my birthday parties in a couple of days and nothing going right moment and posted "I'm finna crash out" in my notes on Instagram. He replied with "Chill. What's wrong? Let's talk." Me and being vulnerable, I replied back everything was going wrong. The next day I was bored, so I put "Who wanna play Roblox" in my notes, and he replied me. We played, but we wasn't on the phone to hear each other, so after we were playing, we exchanged numbers. That was the night me and him became friends. We started talking every day, sleeping on the phone every night. We do childish shit like play Fortnite, Roblox, and just troll at this time. Turns out I went to school with his sister. This was in the middle of December, but around New Year's Eve, we lost contact. But we would text here and there. Later, a few weeks in January, started talking more again. We caught up and lost connection. February is a blur, but I remember he told me that he loved me, and I'll skip to March. Yes, March of 2024, lol. It was my mom's birthday, which was on a Sunday, and we caught up. And coincidentally, his mom has the same birthday as mine. 2 days later, a Tuesday night, when I finally went to see him, it was our first time seeing each other since we were in elementary school. We fought, cuddled, and we had a very deep talk. Why he claimed he loved me, his response was because I was there for him when no one else was. He said he stalked my page and felt really strong about me. He promised to talk to me more than we already were. We started taking our clothes off piece by piece until we were in our undergarments. We didn't know what was about to happen. We proceeded to attempt to have, you know what. His junk was very big and it hurted. He stopped after the 5th or 6th time stating that he didn't want to hurt me. He went to wash his hands and came back. Then his sister, when I went to school with, knocked on the door and asked if he had any weed. I put my clothes back on, embarrassed as fuck, and sat on the corner of the bed finna cry because I was embarrassed. Mind you, he got in the whole bed, started scrolling on his phone. Then he looked back up on me like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "Nothing." And he's like, "Why you over there?" So I laid next to him and put my leg on him. Fast forward, it's time for me to leave. The first Uber for me to get home canceled. So does the second one. So finally the third Uber rolls around 5 o'clock. I'm panicking because my mom wakes up around 5:40ish to wake my brother up for school. When I get home, he made sure that I wasn't safe. He said that the SCX was fire. Yes, with the fire emoji. I thought he was being funny, so I went to sleep. We started talking on and off again, and I told him that I felt like he sweet talked me to get in my pants. Fast forward to March 27, literally last night, I told him that I was coming over after the fact that he told me that I could come over whenever I wanted to. 2 hours before I was supposed to come, he called me to make sure that I was still coming. Guess what he did? Took his black ass to sleep. I'm calling and texting him like, "What the fuck, you cannot be serious." No reply, so I just went to sleep expecting for him to text me or call me apologizing, but no. He posts on his notes, "Go heal." I was beyond pissed and just walked away from the situation because you can't be serious and you got me so effed up at this point. This happened last night and it's still ongoing. LOL. Please give me any advice. It's needed. I'm stuck between he's weird, cut him off, and he said he loves me, but maybe his deceased girlfriend is playing a part in it. Sorry if this was too long, LOL. I have a lot of more stories and thinking about starting a channel in the future. Let me know if you want any more. Thank you for reading. Girl, I know this was last year. Wait, was this last year? Let me be sure. It has to be. Oh, March of this year. I'm dumb. This is 2024. What year did I think we was in? Oh yeah, so this is this year, and I know this was like back in March, but girl, cut him off. He is playing games with you, and I feel like he really did just want what he wanted, and when he seen like, okay, it wasn't going and it probably ain't finna go, he really just skated out. And yeah, no, cut him off, girl. Don't waste your time. You're young, you're smart. Walk away from that situation. Don't waste your time in it and don't dwell in it, girl. No. But excuse me. But yeah, that's it for Subbie Sunday this Sunday. I love you guys so much. If you want to send me a story, send it to Symonestorytimes@yahoo.com, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Y'all be prepared, because like I said, Vlogtober is coming. Let me stop. All right, I love you guys so much. Let me do my last video for today, because my eyes is getting watery, getting heavy, and I am getting hungry. So I love you, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace out.